morning, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well and found my last lecture helpful. In my last lecture, I discussed about the first chapter of Moby Dick. We did the meanings of the difficult words. In this lecture, we'll be doing the exercises of first chapter of Moby Dick. You can find these exercises on page 68 and page 69. This is the cover page of your book. I hope all of you are having your books by now. Before starting with the question answer, let me tell you one thing, that is that question number 1, question number 2, question number 3 and question number 4 of the Moby Dick first chapter will be done in your books, not in your notebooks. Let's start with question number 1. Question number 1 is, decide if the following sentences are true or false. Write T for true or F for false in the boxes. Here you are having 5 different sentences. First one is, Ishmael arrived in New Bedford in order to take part in the whaling business. Second is, at first Ishmael was afraid of Queequeg. Third is, Queequeg was collecting real human heads. Fourth is, when Ishmael jumped out of bed, the harpooner attacked him. Fifth one is, Ishmael and Queequeg decided to go on a whaling trip together. So this question will be done in your books. Question number 2 is, choose A, B or C to complete the following sentences. Here you are having 5 different sentences. For each sentence you are having 3 different options. Out of these 3 different options, you will choose the most suitable one and you will encircle it. First one is, Ishmael spent the night in New Bedford because he changed his mind about the trip, because he had no money for the ferry, because the ferry left without him. You will choose the most suitable one and you will draw a circle around A, B or C. Next is, Ishmael had to share a room with Queequeg because there were no rooms left in the inn. He couldn't afford a whole room. He wanted to meet the harpooner. Third is, Queequeg had just returned from New Zealand, Rokovoko, Manhattan. Fourth is, Queequeg reassured Ishmael that he wouldn't steal from him, make fun of him or hurt him. Fifth one is, Queequeg gave Ishmael all his belongings, a small wooden figure, half of his money. We are done with question number 2. It will also be done in your books. Let's move forward to question number 3. Question number 3 is, complete the following sentences with the correct form of the words in the box. Here you are having 6 different words. I hope all of you would be knowing the meanings of these words because I discussed these words in my previous lecture. But let's recall the meanings. Harpooner means a person who kills or who hunts whales. Grunt is a low voice which is less audible or which is not clearly audible. Blacksmith is a person who makes different things out of metal. Landlord means owner. Pitch is extremely. Light, it is a very simple and easy word. All of you must be knowing the meaning of light. So let's start with the sentences. Here we are having six different sentences. First one is, when I asked him about my wallet, he didn't answer. He just dashed behind his newspaper. So in this blank you will put the suitable word. Second is, dash use spears with long ropes in order to hunt whales. Third one is, it was dash black in the cave. We didn't have a torch so we couldn't see anything. Fourth is, it is a comfortable brightly dash room with nice furniture and a big window. Fifth one is, the dash made horseshoes out of iron. Sixth is, fortunately the dash let them have the house at a low rent. So we are done with question number 3. This will also be done in your books. Question number 4 is find the words or phrases in chapter 1 which mean the same as. So here you are having 8 different phrases. For each phrase you are having a synonym word on the pages mentioned in the bracket. So you will look for the word which will mean the same as this phrase, as these particular phrases. So let me do the first one for you. Rest you will do yourself. First one is smiled widely. So there is a word on page 6 for this phrase, and that is grinned. Grinned. Second is something you can pay for. Third is the fat of sea animals. Fourth is looking at something or someone for a long time. Fifth is of a group of people with the same race, beliefs, and language. Sixth is everything a man has in his possession. Seventh is ate hungrily without properly chewing the food. Eight is without really wanting to. This question will also be done in your books. Let's move forward. Question number 5 is the discussion question. It is the question that will orally be done. And in this question you will be needing the assistance of your parents, your sibling, or your elders. They will ask you these questions and you will discuss these questions with them and you will give the answers in English, right? Question number 1 is what do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of going on a whaling trip? Would you be able to spend time at sea? So here this question will be asked from you and you will tell that what are the advantages, that is good points, disadvantages, that is bad points of going on a whaling trip. And if you ever get a chance to go on a whaling trip, would you like to spend time at sea? You will discuss that. Next question is what do you know about whaling? How popular is it today? So this question will be asked and you will answer this question. You will share your own opinion about this question. So what do you know about, what else do you know about whaling? You will discuss that. And do you think that this whaling is still popular in the 21st century? Because this story is about 19th century. So do you think that whaling business, which was very popular in the 19th century, is still popular in the 21st century? You will discuss that. Next is would you ever share a room with a stranger if you had to? All of you know that Ishmael had to share a room with a stranger. He did it because he had no other choice. So if you land in such a situation, what would you do? Would you share a room with a stranger or not? You will answer this in your own words and you will share your own thoughts. Fourth is whales are large sea animals which are endangered. What other endangered species do you know of? Why is it important to protect them? So here this question is having many parts. First one is whales are large sea animal. We all know this thing and I told you in my previous lecture that the whales and especially the sperm whale is the largest sea animal. Okay, so these whales are endangered. What is this word endangered mean? This word endangered is actually the species which are in danger, which are at high risk of extinction. What is extinction? Extinction is when the species have died out or when the species are no more there on the planet Earth. That is extinction. For example, dinosaurs are extinct. They are no more there on the planet Earth. Okay. What other endangered species do you know of? So you will talk about the other endangered species which are at a risk of endanger and you will discuss about that. And what do you think that why is it important to protect endangered species or endangered animals or plant, you will talk about this. Question number 5 is, do you think that the harpooner is a trustworthy person afterward? What do you think will happen next? Okay, so all of you are knowing about the character of harpooner. In my previous lecture, I told you that harpooner was having a very strange personality, a very suspicious personality. But contrary to that, his behavior was very good with Ishmael. So what do you think, that Ishmael should trust this person, and he should go on a whaling trip with this person or not? And what do you think that what is going to happen next in this novel? So you will discuss this, and this question number 5 will be done orally, right? You will not do this in your books or in your notebooks. Here comes the written work now. So here you are having two questions, question number 6 and question number 7. Both these questions will be done in your notebooks. This is your written work. Question number 6 is, imagine that you are Peter Coffin, the owner of the inn. Write a page in your diary about Ishmael's first night at the inn and his meeting with Pickwick. So here you will consider yourself Peter Coffin, who is the owner of the inn, and you will write a page in your diary and you will talk about the night when Ishmael came into the inn, whatever he experienced during that night and whatever you came across that night. You will note all this in your diary page. Here we are having some specific rules for diary writing. These rules are: diary entries are written using past tenses to narrate the events. So it means that you will write down the diary, or you will jot down all the experiences that you had that night in past tenses. We are having 4 different past tenses. That is simple past tense, past perfect, past continuous, and past perfect continuous. So you will write the diary in these tenses and you will be brief and accurate. Next question is, write the summary of the chapter. The word limit is 150 to 180 words, and you are also having specific rules for summary writing, and that is that you will read the chapter carefully and then you will note down, or you will jot down, the focal point of the novel. For your convenience, here I am sharing the focal point of the novel, that is, what problems did Ishmael the sailor face when he landed in New Bedford to catch a ferry to join the Nantucket whaling ship. So all the summary will revolve around this description. Then you will jot down the important points. You will look closely at the topic sentences. What are the topic sentences? Topic sentences are actually the sentences with which the paragraph starts. So you will note down these sentences. You will note down the keywords which are repeated time and again in the chapter. And you will not talk about the unnecessary words and repetition. You will not share your personal comments and your personal ideas, and you will only discuss and you will only talk about the ideas and about whatsoever is written there in the chapter. You will not share your own personal ideas and comments. And then you will conclude the chapter, or the summary of the chapter, with a summing up sentence. That will be the description which will actually cover the whole of the chapter, or which will cover the whole of your summary. This will be a concluding remark, or this will be a concluding line or description. Okay, so these were the rule, and this you will do in your notebook. Thank you.